The Detention Game. Written by Michael Tartaglia, directed by Anthony Tartaglia, and stage managed by Emily Shea. Scene 1. Welcome. School bell rings. Lights fade up on a classroom located at Greensboro High School. The sounds of students can be heard by the door. Classroom door opens to reveal 6 students and a teacher as they enter one by one.
All right, everyone get into a seat. Let's get this over with.
I can't believe I'm stuck in detention on a Friday night.
Sits down at a desk in the back of the classroom.
Yeah, I know. We have our big game against Madison High tonight, and I promised Coach I wouldn't be late. It's the biggest game of our season.
Sits down at a desk in front of Brittany.
Oh, please. Unlike some of us actually have more important things to do tonight than play a little game of football.
Sits down at a desk in the middle of the classroom.
Oh yeah, like what? Lay in bed, watch The Notebook while eating your life away in a tub of Ben & Jerry's ice cream with the belief that there's someone out there who actually cares about your feelings. That's a joke.
Oh, really? Like there's someone out there who actually cares about your feelings?
Tyler makes a move to go back at Emma.
Okay, you two, that's enough.
Tyler crosses Emma. Emma rolls her eyes at Tyler and crosses her arms. Tyler sits down at a desk in the back of the classroom.
Thank you, Mr. Collins, for shutting them up. I thought my head was about to explode.
Sits down at a desk next to Emma.
Well, Violet, that's not actually possible. Your head can explode from 2 people bickering with one another. You need, like, really high frequencies for that to happen.
Shut up, Randy!
Jeez, okay.
Sits down at a desk in front of the classroom.
Oh, sorry, you're supposed to say Jesse.
I don't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Just keep going.
Hi, Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins walks up to Jessie.
Hello, Miss Wilson. It's nice to see you again. Take a seat.
Jessie finds a seat at the front of the classroom and sits down.
Who the hell is that?
I don't know. I've never seen her before.
That's because you don't care about anyone else besides the blockheads in your stupid little group they like to call your friends.
What the hell is a blockhead?
Can you two shut up? That's Jessie Wilson. She just moved here from Glensdale.
How the hell do you know that?
That's my job, asshole. As class president, I must know every single student here at Greensboro. She's new.
Brittany, Chad, Violet, and Tyler continue to have a conversation quietly.
Hi, I'm Randy Fisher. You must be new.
Randy shakes Jessie's hand.
Hi, I'm Jessie Wilson, and yeah, I just moved here from Glendale.
Oh, wow, that's cool. So, how'd you end up in detention on a Friday night?
Well, being new, I didn't realize the cell phone policy that you guys have here at Greensboro. I took my cell phone out in the middle of class to text my mom to tell her I've been finding my classes okay and all, and then Mr. Collins took my cell phone away, yelling at me saying, "Cell phones aren't allowed in class, Miss Wilson." And then he handed me a detention slip.
Wow, even on your first day? It's rough.
Yeah, I know. And now when I go home, my mom is going to ask me how my first day of school was, and then I'm going to have to tell her that I got a detention. Real nice, huh?
That's okay, Jessie. Don't let it get to you. You know, if you want my advice, Mr. Collins can be a real jerk every now and then. But as long as you stay on his good side, you're all set.
Good to know. Thanks, Randy.
Anytime. Is there anything else that my higher level of education can help you out with today?
Well, there actually is. Who are those guys back there?
Oh, you mean Brittany, Chad, Emma, Tyler, and Violet?
Oh, those are their names? But, yeah, being new and all, I just wanted to get to know people and make some friends. I guess it wouldn't hurt if I started in detention.
Sure, okay. So who do you want to start with?
How about her?
Jessie points to Brittany.
Okay, that's Brittany Scott. Now, she's one of the hottest girls at Greensboro. She's the captain of the cheerleading team, and she's dating Chad Kennedy. She's also filthy rich. Her parents own Chartwells and is always having huge parties at her house whenever they're away. So, if you want to get in with the popular kids, being friends with Brittany is your best bet.
Okay, so she's dating Chad.
Yup, Chad Kennedy is our school's quarterback. Him and Brittany have been dating for 2 years now. If you don't count the 15 times they broke up via text message, Twitter, Snapchat, everything. But other than that, yeah, they're still going strong.
15 times, really?
Yeah. Well, rumor has it that Chad is being looked at by a bunch of scouts from Alabama. So him and Brittany probably won't make it that much longer.
Well, I guess that's a typical high school relationship in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So, what about her?
Oh, that's Emma Lawrence. She's class president, editor of the school's newspaper and yearbook, head of prom committee, and is basically the president of every single other club here at Greensboro. Or at least she acts like she is.
Wow, she seems like a handful.
Oh yeah, she's a handful of type A. She always has to be in control of everything. She also knows everything about everyone. She claims it's her job or something.
Sounds like a pretty tiring job to me.
Yeah.
And what about him?
Points to Tyler.
That's Tyler Morris. He's Greensboro's badass. He drives to school every day on his motorcycle and is in detention almost every single day. He even calls it his home away from home.
What does he constantly do that's so bad?
Well, he's just always goofing around, doing anything and everything to get in trouble. But if you ask me, I think it's because he'd rather sit in detention at school than go home and face his parents, who are always fighting.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would do the same thing. And what about her?
Points to Violet.
Ah, that's Violet Davis. She's dark, mysterious, and extremely sarcastic.
Oh, really? What makes you say that?
The conversation with the other 5 students breaks.
Babe, feel my pipes. Come on, feel them. Feel that.
Chad! Remember when I said it was okay to breathe?
No.
Exactly.
Students go back into their conversation.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Yeah,
now.
well, she's really a ray of sunshine if you get to know her.
Yeah, I bet. And what about you?
But what about me?
Well, you've told me everything I need to know about everyone else. So what about you? What do I need to know about Randy Fisher?
I'm an open book. There's really not much to me, but I promise you'll learn a lot more if maybe we can hang out sometime.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Wait, really?
Of course.
Students in conversation break.
Okay, everyone, I'm back. No need to get excited.
Trust me, Mr. Collins, the excitement was uncontrollable.
Mr. Collins sits down at his desk.
Very funny, Miss Davis. Okay, time for attendance. When I call your name, say here. Violet Davis.
Here.
Randy Fisher.
Yep.
Chad Kennedy.
Here.
Emma Lawrence.
Here.
Tyler Morris.
Here.
Brittany Scott.
Here.
Phone rings.
Okay, you guys know the rules. No cell phones during school hours, especially during detention. Whose phone is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's mine. I think it's my mom trying to figure out where I am. I guess I forgot to put it on silent.
Yeah, obviously.
Twice in one day, Miss Wilson? Well, regardless of the reason, no cell phones are allowed. And that goes for all of you, not just Jesse.
Takes out a basket from under his desk and gets up.
Come on, everyone put their phones in the basket. You'll get them at the end of the night.
Mr. Collins collects all the cell phones.
Are you kidding, Mr. C? What the hell are we supposed to do to keep occupied then?
Puts phone in basket.
Here's a thought. Why don't you try shutting your mouth for once? That could do us all a favor.
Puts phone in basket.
That's enough, girls. I'll give you all of you an assignment when I get back.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean for us to get our phones taken away.
Oh, don't worry about it, Jesse. It's not the end of the world. We don't need our phones to keep us occupied, right, guys? We can look outside, study nature.
There are no windows in here, dipshit. Wow, pretty and observant. What else does Miss Brittany Scott have to offer to society? How about I give you a new makeover? I'm always ready to help the needy. Oh, thanks. I've always wanted to look like one of the rejects on America's Next Top Model. Oh, that's so cute that you think you would make it on that show. Well, at least I'm not going to be on a future episode of Botched.
Randy gets up out of seat.
Guys.
He gets up to confront
bitch.
Violet. Violet gets up out of his seat.
Careful. I don't want to break that pretty little nose your daddy just bought you.
That's not the only thing that her daddy bought for her.
What'd you just say?
Chad gets up out of seat.
Oh, come on, man. I'm not the only guy at school that noticed she moved up 2 bra sizes when we all got back from break.
Are you kidding me? That's my girl you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, and Brian Hunter's girl, Danny McAllister's girl, Eddie Davis's girl, Tom Young's girl. Do I need to go on?
Shut your mouth!
Tyler gets up.
Or what?
Oh my god, can you guys shut up? Mr. Collins is going to be back any second, and I swear to God, if I get another detention because of you two, I'm going to kill somebody!
Mr. Collins enters with a plate of cookies and a cup of coffee.
Okay, I'm back. What are you guys doing? Get back in your seats.
All students sit back in their seats. Mr. Collins sits at his desk.
Oh, thank God you're back, Mr. C. I was about to lose it.
Why is that so believable?
Okay, that's enough from you two. I understand that all of you would rather be doing other things than be sitting in detention on a Friday night, but unfortunately your actions have reserved you a seat. So everyone take out some paper and a writing utensil, and I want you to write a 2,000-word essay explaining why you were given detention and what you're going to do in the future to make sure I don't see any of you in here again.
Whoa! Since when do we write essays in detention?
Since I gave you all detention, get to work.
Lights fade to blue. Scene 2, and so the game begins. Lights fade up. Students are writing their essays reacting to one another as Mr. Collins is at his desk grading papers. At his desk is a cup of coffee, a plate of cookies, chapstick, and a little container of breath mints. While grading papers, Mr. Collins simultaneously takes the last bite of a cookie, takes a sip of coffee, puts it on his chapstick, and throws a breath mint into his mouth.
What's the point of this?
Done talking, please.
I'm
What the hell is
asking
an
a
essay?
question.
And I'm giving you an answer. Stop talking.
Seriously, how long do you think we're going to stay here for?
Yeah, seriously. Go. I gotta get to the game.
Shut up, Chad. Is football all you care about?
Actually, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you too, babe.
That's better.
So can I projectile vomit now?
If you're looking at yourself in the mirror, then yeah, you can.
That's enough. What don't you all understand? I said no talking. I gave all of you detention for reasons that are obvious to each of you, so I don't understand where your confusion is. If you're going to complain about why you're in detention, then maybe you shouldn't have did what you all did to get detention in the first place. Now, like I said, please...
Mr. Collins then starts to gasp for air, slamming his hands on his desk. All students look up and are alarmed.
Mr. Collins?
Oh my God, is he okay? What's wrong with him?
Someone help him!
Mr. Collins stands up out of his seat with one hand grabbing his throat and the other grabbing his chair.
Oh my God, he's choking! Somebody do something!
Chad gets up out of his seat and goes towards Mr. Collins, ready to help him.
Mr. C, I got you.
Ready to catch Mr. Collins, Chad reaches out his arms. Mr. Collins then gasps for air one more time, falling to the floor, missing Chad's arms. All students stand up.
Holy shit!
Oh my God! Chad, do something!
What do you want me to do?
Do you know how to do the Heimlich?
I do, I'm certified.
Randy rushes over to Mr. Collins. Randy performs the Heimlich.
Oh, come on, Mr. C, stay with us.
Randy continues to perform the Heimlich.
He's not breathing.
What do you mean he's not breathing?
Randy then checks Mr. Collins' pulse.
He's dead.
Oh my
What?
God!
Brittany cries. Chad leans up against the wall while on the floor next to Mr. Collins' body. Violet falls to her knees in shock. Emma sits down at a desk with her hands covering her face. Jessie leans onto Randy for comfort. Tyler stays standing and stares at all of them.
We need to get the hell out of here.
Tyler runs to the door and tries to open it, but it's locked.
Holy shit, it's locked.
What? What do you mean it's locked?
It's locked. It won't open.
Chad walks over to the door.
Well, maybe you're not trying hard enough.
Okay, be my guest, Hercules.
Chad attempts to open the door, but it won't budge.
It's jammed.
Oh my God!
What are we supposed to do?
I don't know.
We need to call for help.
Stop! It's not worth it. No one's here.
How do you know that?
Because no one's here. Everyone's probably at Crystal Lake by now for the big bonfire before the game at Madison High tonight.
Then someone needs to call 911. Yeah? How are we supposed to do that? Mr. Collins took all of our phones. Remember, Barbie?
Both of you just shut
Oh,
up.
the classroom phone.
Chad runs over to the classroom phone on Mr. Collins' desk. He tries to dial 911, but realizes that the phone cord has been cut.
Are you kidding me? Is this some kind of joke?
All right, who's doing this?
Doing what?
Well, clearly someone is trying to mess with us.
Who would do something like that?
Bet you it was Sabrina the Teenage Witch over here.
What?
You heard me.
Why would I do something like this?
Because everyone knows that you're psychotic.
Trust me. You'll know when I'm being psychotic, and that's about to be in 2 seconds if you keep accusing me!
Well, maybe it's you, Tyler.
What?
Yeah, you.
Why me?
Because you don't give a shit about anyone else but yourself. So maybe you thought killing Mr. Collins would be the highlight of your night.
Oh, you're crazy.
She's not that crazy. I mean, I believe her theory.
Oh, really? Well, maybe that's because you did.
What?
Yeah, you're the one that was so pissed about missing your big game tonight. Maybe you had to get Mr. Collins out of the way to make sure that you got there.
Shut up, Tyler.
But that doesn't make any sense. We were all here the whole time.
Not necessarily. I mean, what if someone beat us all to it?
But that's not possible. All the classrooms are locked and you can't get in without a teacher's key.
Yeah, but it's still a possibility. Someone could have done all this way before detention even started.
So, how are we supposed to figure out who did it and why?
Well, we can look at it like a game of Clue.
I love
I
Clue.
hate Clue.
What the hell is Clue?
You should get a clue, and you want us to look at the death of Mr. Collins as a board game?
It's a typical whodunit scenario. Someone had a motive to kill Mr. Collins. We just need to figure out who did it, with what, and why.
And how are we supposed to figure all of that out? We aren't detectives.
Well, we don't need to be. All we need is the knowledge that we already have. All of the answers are right here in front of us. We need to open our eyes, and see the bigger picture.
But who would have done something like this to Mr. Collins?
The butler did it! There is no butler, dumbass. We're in a school!
No, but Brittany has a point.
I do?
She does?
Yes, she does. We need to think about someone who's right under our noses. Someone who we wouldn't think of at first. Someone who's not here with us right now.
Well, there's no one else here. Everyone's at the game.
Oh, I know! It was Colonel Mustard in the library with a candlestick!
Shut up, Tyler!
Anyway, we don't know that. Who else could be here this late at night?
Oh, I know, the janitor. The janitor always stays late to clean the floors. He must be here.
So then maybe the janitor was the one who did it.
Well, we don't know exactly that for sure. We would have to be able to prove it somehow, but first we need to figure out if he's actually here and where he is.
The noise of a floor buffer can be heard outside of the door and a man singing to music.
Oh my god, that's him!
Hey, we're in here!
Hey! In here!
Students run to the door and begin to bang on it, screaming for the janitor's attention.
What the hell? Why can't he hear
He's
us?
probably listening to music with headphones on or something. Plus the floor buffer is so loud the noise is probably overpowering us.
Great! How convenient.
So now what?
Well, I'm not sure.
What do you mean you're not sure? Aren't you supposed to know everything, Einstein?
Hey, give him a break.
Yeah, you need to relax.
Relax? Our teacher's dead on the floor in our classroom. We're locked in, with no cell phones or any other form of communication, and there's probably a killer on our loose in the school right now, waiting to make his next move, and you want me to relax.
Wait a minute. How do we even know that Mr. Collins was murdered? We don't even know his cause of death.
The man isn't breathing, and he has no pulse, Brittany. What else do you need to know?
No, Brittany might be onto something. We are jumping to conclusions about Mr. Collins' death. We don't actually know how he died.
Well, how are we supposed to figure that out?
Well, let's just take a look at Mr. Collins.
Randy and the others go over to the body of Mr. Collins. Randy kneels down and begins to observe it.
Oh, look!
What is it?
Mr. Collins' skin isn't blue.
Yeah? So?
So, while we were writing our essays, didn't you guys notice that Mr. Collins drank some coffee, put on a chapstick, and had a mint?
So Mr. Collins was thirsty and wanted fresh breath. I don't get it.
Don't you guys see? Mr. Collins didn't choke. He didn't have a single bite of any of his cookies. If he happened to choke on them, his face would have turned blue after he stopped breathing due to lack of oxygen. He must have been poisoned.
Oh my god!
How would he have been poisoned?
Well, it must have been the coffee that he drank. But I wonder what poison it might have been.
Maybe it was arsenic.
Really, Tyler?
And of all the things that Mr. Collins could have been poisoned with, why did you automatically guess arsenic?
Well, in my spare time, I do read a lot of murder mystery novels, and poison of choice is always arsenic. What?
Oh, nothing. I'm just surprised that you read something that doesn't come with pictures.
No, this actually makes sense, Tyler. Arsenic is extremely dangerous if ingested. If it was used, there could be some residue of it left in Mr. Collins' coffee mug.
Randy goes over to Mr. Collins' desk, picks up the coffee mug, and looks inside.
Look, there seems to be some of it left at the bottom of the mug.
Violet walks over and takes the mug out of Randy's hand and looks inside.
That's what arsenic looks like? It looks like freaking sugar! How do we know if the residence left in this mug is arsenic or not?
Well, that's a good question. But my guess is the killer is very inexperienced and probably threw out the bottle in a garbage can nearby.
Brittany walks over to the garbage can by the door of the classroom, bends down, and looks inside.
Oh my god, no way!
Brittany pulls out a small bottle.
Is that arsenic?
Yes! And there's none left inside. Why would the killer have thrown out the bottle inside the classroom garbage can?
Probably because he didn't have enough time to get rid of it anywhere else, and he wanted to cover his tracks before leaving the school. Besides, there are no security cameras in classrooms. The killer must have known that he wouldn't have gotten caught film throwing out the bottle in the garbage can, making him almost impossible to catch.
So, who do we think could have done this?
Well, I don't know. It could have been anybody.
Wait, guys.
What?
Look.
Violet picks up the plate of cookies to the rest of the students, revealing a message written at the bottom.
What does that say?
Tyler walks over to the plate to get a closer look.
It says, you invited me in.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means the killer is close by.
How close by?
The killer is someone in this room.
All students stand around looking at one another. Lights fade to blue. Scene 3. Secrets and lies. Lights fade up. All desks and chairs have been moved to the back of the classroom. All students are standing around the classroom arguing.
Well, according to my calculations, this is
Okay,
all
everyone, stop! How do we know for sure that the killer is someone in this room?
Because why else would there be writing on the bottom of that plate?
Brittany points over to the plate that is sitting on Mr. Collins' desk.
Barbie has a point. It's so clear. You invited me in. Come on, that's some Buffy the Vampire Slayer shit.
What are you talking about?
Oh, come on. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You know, vampires can't come into your house unless you invite them in. Everyone knows that vampires are known to be killers.
So what are you saying? The killer is a vampire? Give me a break.
Oh, no, dumbass. I'm saying that the killer had a motive to kill Mr. Collins, and detention was their invitation to do so.
Yeah, Violet's right. But there's a couple of things that we still don't know.
Like what?
Well, for one thing, we don't know what the killer's motive is.
And how are we supposed to know that?
Well, it's simple. Let's just take a deeper look at everyone in this room. Someone had a serious motive in which killing Mr. Collins was their only way of revenge.
Revenge? For what? Mr. Collins giving us detention? Oh, come on, give me a break. That's so stupid. You don't just kill a man because he gave you a little detention.
Yeah, I mean, I get detention all the time. It's not that big of a deal.
But maybe it's not that simple. Getting a detention could just be the last thing that set the killer off. There must be so much more to it.
So, what are we supposed to do? Figure out what everyone's motives could have been?
Yes, it's the only way to figure out why the killer killed Mr. Collins.
Okay, so who are we going to start with first?
Well, how about you?
Me?
Yeah, you, new girl. Why would you have wanted to kill Mr. Collins?
Well, I mean, I didn't really know Mr. Collins. Like I said, I'm new, and today was only my first day at Greensboro.
That's convenient.
I'm sorry?
Oh, nothing. It just seems a little odd.
Yeah, I agree. A detention on the first day of school, that's a good reason to kill Mr. Collins. That's social suicide.
What's wrong with getting detention on your first day? I find it quite impressive, actually.
Ew, Tyler. Get your hormones under control.
Anyway, I didn't even know enough about him to like or hate him.
Honestly, who gives a shit? We all know that if anyone in this room has a motive, it's Chad.
Are you kidding me?
I call it like I see it, bro.
Why are you so quick to call me out, bro?
Because it makes the most sense. Since Mr. Collins gave you detention, you are missing the big game tonight against Madison High. We all know that scouts from Alabama were going to be there to watch you play, which would be setting up your future with playing football at Alabama, which could possibly launch you into the pros. Since Mr. Collins gave you detention, it was like taking away your chance at a successful and professional football career.
Oh, yeah? And what about you? You had a motive to kill Mr. Collins, too.
Tyler walks up to Brittany.
And what would that be?
Brittany pushes Tyler back.
Don't act dumb, Tyler.
Brittany starts speaking to the other students.
Tyler and I are in the same English class with Mr. Collins during second period. Today after class, I realized that I forgot my cell phone that I left charging in the back of the classroom. When I went back to go get it, I overheard Mr. Collins talking to Tyler saying how he was failing English. Since we all know that you need to pass English in order to graduate, Tyler would not have been able to. But what a lot of you don't know is that I overheard Tyler talking to Mr. Collins another day saying how he's planning on enlisting into the military.
And you need a high school diploma in order to enlist.
Mm-hmm. And with failing English, Tyler will not be able to graduate and will not be able to enlist into the military, giving him the perfect motive to kill Mr. Collins.
You bitch!
Oh my god.
It doesn't even make sense why I'm failing in the first place. I do all my work in English. Mr. Collins is failing me because he doesn't like me.
Well, that's even more of a reason for you to kill him.
But I didn't do it, okay? I didn't kill it.
If that's your story.
And what's your story?
Excuse me?
You heard me. What could Mr. Collins have done to Little Miss Perfect in order for you to kill him?
Oh, I know.
You don't know anything.
Brittany and Emma walk towards one another.
Oh, really? Try me. The reason why Brittany is in detention is because Mr. Collins finally gave her detention for constantly skipping his class.
So, if I skip all the time, then what makes this time any different?
Because I know that when Mr. Collins told Coach Bradshaw about you skipping his class today, she met with you afterwards and threatened to kick you off the cheerleading team.
That's a lie!
Shut up, Brittany. Everybody knows that all you care about is your social status, and by getting kicked off the cheerleading team and losing your captainship, that would make you just like everybody else. Normal.
Normal? Try mediocre.
And God forbid that ever happened to a girl like you.
You don't get it. I would have lost everything. My captainship, my popularity, my friends, everything. Let's face it, no one cares about you if you're normal. Being popular is all I have, and it's all I've ever known how to be. This means everything to me, and I will not be a nobody. I will not settle for being mediocre like all of you.
Mediocre?
Brittany starts to cry in Chad's arms.
Issue.
Shut up, Tyler!
Oh my god, I never knew being popular was such a big deal to some people.
Well, apparently it means more to Brittany than we all thought it did.
So, you killed Mr. Collins just so you can get back in for possibly losing your Queen Bee status? And you all think I'm crazy? She sounds pretty psychotic to me.
Nope, you're still psychotic. I happen to know that Mr. Collins notified your parents and Principal Gilmore that there's something mentally and emotionally wrong with you based upon the poetry you write for his class.
What?
Yeah, don't act like you don't know. Brian Pinsky tutors me in chemistry and told me that he overheard Mr. Collins talking to you one day after your honors English class. He said that you always show him your work during class and it's always dark, moody, and all other kinds of messed up.
I'm gonna kill that kid!
Yeah, just like you killed Mr. Collins, right? Since you were seen as being unstable by not just Mr. C, but your parents and Principal Gilmore, they just wanted you to get help. And because your parents are known for being overbearing and overprotective, they acted right away and put you in counseling.
That's why you're always in a counseling center.
Boom!
But I'm still not crazy. Why don't you tell everyone why you're in detention, Emma? I'm sure everyone would love to know that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I do. You were caught cheating.
That's a lie!
No, you and I both know that it's not, Emma. Since I'm a Mr. Collins teacher assistant during your class period, he told me that you were given detention and a 0 on your exam today for cheating. He also said that he'll possibly be meeting with Mr. Gilmore tomorrow to discuss it possibly going on your permanent record.
I would never hurt Mr. Collins.
You wouldn't? For this going on your permanent record, it would give you a pretty good motive to do so. Everything that you've worked so hard your entire academic career for would be over. And so would your chances of getting into any Ivy League school of your choice.
That makes sense, Randy. Killing Mr. Collins would be the perfect revenge for ruining all of that for you, Emma.
You want to talk about revenge? Well, why don't you talk to Randy about that?
What is she talking about, Randy?
I know exactly what she's talking about. Randy's been at Mr. Collins' TA for a while now. I've heard Mr. Collins say that Randy is the best TA he's ever had in his entire teaching career. Well, for those of you who don't know this, there's a big internship that's given out to a student at the end of the year, and to be eligible, the student must be a teacher's assistant.
Randy walks towards the back of the classroom.
I don't understand. What's the big deal? It's just an internship.
No, it's not just an internship. It's an internship to anywhere of the student's choice for 1 year. A major accomplishment and important opportunity for any student who is given it.
But what does Mr. Collins have to do with any of that?
Mr. Collins is the teacher that chooses the recipient. Randy must have been thinking all this time that he was going to get the internship based on all his hard work with Mr. Collins, but when I was in the counseling center, I overheard the secretary saying that Mr. Collins was giving the internship to another student.
So, Randy wasn't getting the internship after all?
Nope, giving him the perfect motive to kill Mr. Collins. Right, Randy?
Randy turns around and stares at everyone.
Randy? Say something!
You guys don't understand. That internship would have been the perfect platform that I needed for my future. I worked so hard for Mr. Collins, and for what? To not get anything out of it?
So then admit it, Randy. You killed Mr. Collins.
Lights fade to blue. Scene 4, guess who?
I didn't. Yeah, of course I'm upset about it, but I wouldn't kill Mr. C. He's become a friend to me.
So then what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, we aren't getting anywhere.
I am so done with all of this and with all of you.
Yeah, I agree. We are wasting our time. Someone here is lying. Enough with the secrets and the BS. Which one of you is it?
Guys, stop.
Yeah, everyone, shut up!
We aren't going to get anything accomplished if we just keep fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we missed another piece of evidence when we were by Mr. Collins' desk or
Oh
something.
my god, what else could there be?
Randy walks over to Mr. Collins'
I
desk.
don't know, but there must be something, right? I can feel it.
Randy begins to frantically search around the desk.
Dude, calm down.
No, I'm not gonna calm down.
A piece of paper falls off the desk.
Randy, something just fell.
Randy reaches down and picks up the piece of paper off the floor.
What is it?
It's nothing. It's just the attendance sheet.
Randy looks at the attendance sheet.
Wait a minute.
What?
What is it?
Oh, no, that's weird.
What's weird?
No, it doesn't make any sense. I don't.
What doesn't make any sense?
Jesse, your name's not on the attendance sheet.
What?
Your name isn't on the attendance sheet, Jesse. Jesse, why isn't your name on here?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, why would you be in detention if your name isn't on the sheet, Jesse?
Maybe they just forgot to put my name on it or something.
But
Oh, no.
that's impossible. All the attendance sheets are processed through Principal Gilmore's computer, especially when it comes to detentions. Principal Gilmore personally checks the system to see who is supposed to have detention and make sure that it's correct before the attendance sheets for detentions are printed. He wouldn't have made a mistake like that.
Well, maybe it's because I'm new. I might not be in the system yet.
Oh, no, you are. When you checked in this morning on your first day of school, you were given a class schedule, which means that you are in the system. You wouldn't have been able to go to any of your classes if you weren't. You're lying.
No, I,
Jesse?
Jessie looks around nervously at all of the students and looks down. She then picks up her head, smiles, and begins to laugh.
That's so funny.
Yeah, what are you laughing at?
Alright, I can't do this anymore. I can only act like this for so long.
Act like what?
Yeah, why are you talking all creepy and shit? No, oh my god, you're the killer!
Shit, Sherlock!
Oh.
Jesse, why?
Why? That's all you guys care about.
Well, yeah, that's what we've been trying to figure out.
You want to know why, huh?
Yeah.
I'll give you a why. Your recently departed Mr. Collins of Greensboro High School isn't the sweet English teacher that all of you have come to know and love. 5 years ago, my mom got a new job at a local publishing company where she met a lot of new people. Mr. Collins being one of them. They seemed to spend a lot of time with one another, including after work hours. It ended up being that my mom was barely home and always at the office, leaving me home alone since my dad works really long hours as a chemist. Well, I got suspicious, and one day I decided to visit my mom at her office after work hours. When I walked onto her floor, I looked into my mom's office windows. To my surprise, I saw her and Mr. Collins all over each other like freaking white on rice.
Ew.
I ran out in tears before either of them could see me. A few months later, my mom left my dad and never came back. My dad went on a downward spiral where he would work all day at his lab and end his nights with his buddies Jack and Captain Morgan, leaving me to spend little to no time with him at all. I soon became the thing that my dad lost interest in the most. Since I had a lot of time up to myself, I began to drown myself in murder mystery novels, movies on serial killers, and watching America's Most Wanted. Then one day, it hit me. I knew what I had to do.
And what was that?
Brittany,
What?
why do you sound so interested in the killer's plan?
I'm sorry. She just makes it sound so interesting.
So interesting.
This girl's a walking episode of American Horror Story.
Are you three done? Anyway, after I found out that Mr. Collins left the publishing company, I tracked him down to see what that he got a new job as an English teacher at Greensboro High School. Since I live out of town and my dad is never home, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I enrolled myself as a student at Greensboro High School immediately and made up my new and improved identity as Jesse Wilson.
New identity? If your name isn't Jesse, then what is it?
That's for me to know and for you to never find out, you tool. Like I was saying, I created my new identity and was just about ready to start my first day of school at Greensboro High. There were just a few things I had to do on my first day in order to come in contact with Mr. Collins. For starters, I specifically asked to be placed in Mr. Collins' English class so that I could purposely get a detention. When I walked into detention after school, Mr. Collins greeted me without any knowledge that I had previously went to the principal's office and spoke to Principal Gilmore about receiving a detention on my first day of school. With my sweet and innocent act, I got Principal Gilmore to revoke my detention, promising that it would be our little secret.
So that's why your name isn't on the attendance sheet.
Mm-hmm. Smart, huh?
But then how did you get the time to poison Mr. Collins and or have access to it?
Simple. My dad is a chemist. I simply broke into his lab when he wasn't there and stole a bottle of arsenic. Before going into detention, I tampered with the locks to make sure that we would all be locked in the classroom. Then I took a trip to the teacher's lounge and left Mr. Collins a plate of cookies, a mug filled with coffee, and a little note. The coffee already had the arsenic poured inside. All I needed to do was simply wait for the bastard to drink it in detention and enjoy watching him die.
That is sick.
I know, right?
But there's one thing I don't understand. If you had all this thought out and planned out, then why would you make the careless mistake of throwing out the bottle of arsenic in the classroom garbage can?
Jesse walks towards Randy.
That's a very good question, Randy, but I have an even better answer. I threw out the bottle of arsenic in the classroom garbage can because I'm not the one who killed Mr. Collins.
What? I'm confused now.
Shocker.
Jessie walks to the back of the classroom and grabs her purse. She then takes out her cell phone.
Is that a cell phone?
You've had that on you this whole time?
Of course I did. You didn't think that I gave Mr. Collins my real cell phone, did you? I'm not that dumb. I gave him an old one.
Jessie begins to dial the phone.
Hey, what are you doing?
You'll see. Yes? 911? My name is Jesse Wilson. I'm currently locked in classroom 112 at Greensboro High School. The teacher and 6 students are dead. And the killer is holding me hostage. Please send for help immediately. Please, hurry!
Jessie hangs up the phone.
Oh my god, what?
Why'd you just say that?
Wait, you said that 6 students are dead. What does that mean?
It means this.
Pulls out a gun.
Holy shit, what are you doing?
Jesse, put the gun down, okay?
Shut up! I can't have any witnesses after what I just told all of you. When the police arrive, all of you will be dead, and I will be the only survivor. I will finally get all of the attention that I have been desperately craving all of these years. And the best part about it all, I killed Mr. Collins, and all of you will take the fall for it.
But if you didn't kill Mr. Collins, then who are you going to pin it on?
How about you, Randy? You were Mr. Collins' assistant and had the biggest motive to kill him. Let's just say that after killing Mr. Collins, you went crazy, killed and shot everyone else in the room, except for me. I fought for the gun, took hold of it, shot, and killed you. Self-defense.
You'll never get away with this.
Oh, sweetie, I already have.
Jessie points the gun at the students.
Jesse, please. Oh, you don't have to do this, okay?
It's too late. Thank you all for being pawns in my little game. Any last words?
All the students cringe and close their eyes. Violet takes a vase that is sitting on Mr. Collins' desk and raises it in the air over Jessie's head.
Thanks for playing.
Violet breaks the vase over Jessie's head. Jessie drops to the floor and lays unconscious.
Holy shit.
That was
Oh
awesome!
my
I
god.
can't believe you just did
That was
that.
hot!
Sounds can be heard outside the classroom door. Sheriff Hudson barges into the classroom. All students back up.
Okay, everyone, stay where you are, hands in the air where I can see them.
It's okay, Sheriff. The person you want is right there.
Randy points to Jessie on the ground.
Her? She's the killer?
Yeah.
You're telling me this skinny little white girl is the killer?
Wait.
I got a call down at the station to come and arrest a deranged psycho killer holding 6 people hostage, and that's the girl behind it all?
Yeah, obviously. Come on. Aren't you gonna do something?
Like what, honey?
I don't know, like take out your handcuffs, be all official, and give her the Amanda Bynes rights or
No.
whatever the hell they're called.
No.
It's Miranda rights, you moron.
Girl, did the bleach go too far into your pretty big head?
Bleach? This is my natural hair color.
Mm-hmm. And I'm one of the Kardashian sisters. Keep up, girl.
What the hell are you talking about?
Watch your mouth, boy. I'll break you like a Kit Kat bar.
Tyler backs away from Sheriff Hudson.
What took you so long?
Yeah, where were you?
Well, funny you should ask. I was on patrol just like I was on every Friday night, and I realized that there was a big football game going on Madison High tonight. So since nothing really was going on in Greensboro, I took a drive down.
Wait, what? You went to the game? What was the score?
Oh yeah, it was great. They had cookies, popcorn, coffee, the whole deal.
No. I'm talking about the score, woman! The
I'm
score!
not sure. I got a call to come save 6 hostages from a psycho killer, remember? Funny how you couldn't have handled the situation yourself. For 3 guys, 1 being a football player, 1 being a... Oh, hey, baby! Haven't seen you in the station in a while. That's good.
Good to see you too, Sheriff Hudson.
What? Oh me.
And,
my father became a rabbit.
Now that I think about it, you needed all the help you could get.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, where the hell is the corpse?
He's back here.
Randy walks Sheriff Hudson over to the closet. Sheriff Hudson opens the closet door.
Damn! He looks awful. What a shame. It's kind of cute for a white boy, you know what I mean?
Wait a second. You went to the football game while on duty? Isn't that against the rules?
And aren't you just a little bundle of stress? You see this badge? I'm the sheriff. I make the rules.
Okay, well, can we just get out of here already, or are we just gonna...
Sure thing. Okay, everyone, head out. We're going to have a lot of questions when we get down to the station.
What about the body?
Oh, don't worry, I got it.
Sheriff Hudson goes over to the closet and opens it and looks at the body.
About that, you guys got it, right? I'll meet y'all in the car.
Sheriff Hudson picks up Jessie and takes her out of the classroom. Chad and Tyler turn to one another. Tyler turns to Chad.
Hey, I'm sorry you missed your game tonight, man.
It's okay. I mean, there will be other opportunities for scouts to come see me play. Maybe not Alabama, but like other schools just as good.
Don't worry about it, babe. You're still Alabama material to me.
Brittany kisses Chad on the cheek.
And you're still the most beautiful, popular girl I know.
I know.
Emma walks up to Tyler.
Hey, that was really nice what you said to Chad. You actually aren't that big of a jerk after all.
Thanks. You ain't so bad yourself. Would you maybe want to help me study for English sometime?
I would love to.
Randy walks up to Violet.
Thanks for saving us all. Yeah, that was an amazing amount of bravery you showed.
It was nothing. Anyone would have done it.
But they didn't. You saved all of our lives.
Honestly, I just wanted her to shut up. I couldn't stand listening to her anymore. I thought my head was gonna explode.
Yeah, Violet, that's not actually possible. Your head can explode because you're bigger. Sorry.
All right, you two, let's get a move on. How the hell am I going to let them fit in my car?
You ready?
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Randy reaches for Violet's hand and grabs it.
Don't touch me.
Oh, okay.
All lights dim. Blackout. The end.